You got to know God's will is your victory. You got to know God's will is your breakthrough. You got to know that God's will is to prosper you. God's will is to bless you. God's will is to increase you. God's will is for you to live a long, strong, blessed, successful life. You got to know that you know that you know that like you know what your name is. Amen. When you stand firm in knowing that, that is what's going to give you your breakthrough and your victory. Before the answer manifests, before the breakthrough is demonstrated, before you have what you've been saying, what you've been confessing, what you've been praying, you must be fully assured, like the Amplified says, fully assured in everything willed by God for you. Interesting, Paul also says there, stand firm and mature. Now, the opposite of maturity is immaturity. And I was thinking, a picture of immaturity is a child. And one of the traits of a child is children are impatient. You'll tell them, even as a parent, you'll promise them something. You'll say, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to get that for you. I'm going to take you there. And they get excited, but then they get impatient. They want to know, well, when are you going to do it? Are you going to do it? And that's a character trait of children. And God is not like that. Amen. God, if he promises something, he's going to do it. If he said it, he'll do it. But sometimes in our immaturity as his children, we get impatient. So we're standing firm, we're standing, and then we want to get tired of standing because we want that breakthrough. We want that thing we trust in God for. We want that answer to prayer. And of course, we all want it quickly. We all want it to happen immediately. But let me say, there's a purpose in you standing. There's a reason why it doesn't happen straight away all the time. Another characteristics about a child is that they don't listen. You'll say, do this, and then they don't do that. Or you'll say, don't do that, and then they do that. Don't touch that, and then they touch it. And, many times I've been guilty of this. And if you're honest, I'm sure you have at some time in your walk with God. God tells you to do something, and you don't do it. And one of the key things about living a life of faith, one of the key things about living a life that pleases God is exactly what Mary said to the servants at the wedding of Cana when Jesus did his first miracle. Such a simple statement, but so profound. She said, whatever he tells you to do, do it. And let me say, if we as children of God could just do that all the time with everything God told us, our lives would be so much better. We would have been so much further in what God has called us to do, God has called us to have, God has called us to be, but we don't listen. So many times the children of Israel, God had to say, listen, hearken diligently to what I say. Listen carefully to what I say. Because why? They weren't listening. Amen.